Welcome back to Prime 9, featuring the best bloopers we've ever seen. Right off the bat was Tommy Lasorda, and Steve Lyons dropped in at number 8. Paul O'Neill then got his kicks, followed by we forgot. Oh well, here's number 5. Baseball has brought us countless bloopers on the base paths.
Oh, hey! Oh, my. Feet don't fail me now.
But this trip around the bases by Ruben Rivera is by far the best.
The 1-0 pitch is a fly ball into right field, fairly deep. Back on it, Delucci. He makes an over-the-shoulder catch, and he can't come up with it. And Rivera is hung up at second. Grissom is right behind him. The throw to third goes off of Cintron's glove. And ricochets back to second. Womack's throw to the plate on Rivera. He is out at the plate.
Okay, let's break this down through the eyes of those who were there.
Well, I was the one that hit the ball.
Grissom to right center field.
And I seen that the right fielder was kind of misplaying the ball.
Dropped it!
Ruben, he did not see the guy drop the ball. And he just took off and he touched second base, and the coach telling him to come back, and I'm telling him to keep going.
Rivera is hung up at second. Grissom is right behind him.
It was like he was running a suicide drill. You run forward 30 feet, you run backward 30 feet, back and forth, back and forth.
And now Rivera forgot to go to third.
So now he gets to third base, and all of a sudden, the guy missed the ball again.
Everybody says, I don't believe it. Rivera's trying to score.
Ruben is out of gas, and we knew all along that he was going to be out by a mile.
And he's out by 5 feet at the plate.
It was a crazy play because he didn't know what to do, and I don't think the players did after a while because he was touching every base and going back and forth.
And that was the worst base running in the history of the game.
I think everybody in the ballpark got a laugh when it was all over, I think except for Lou, who was the manager.
I do not believe it.
What was he thinking? Head wasn't in the game.
He got totally lost and confused out there.
It's easy to laugh at it at the time, but if players were really honest, they would tell you that they've all been in that situation at some level in their career, whether it's high school or college or minor leagues, or in Ruben's case, in the big leagues on a big stage where everybody in the world got to laugh at it.
Butch Husky could sure put some hurt on a baseball.
Gone! A grand slam home run. What a shot by Butch Husky.
But it was the hurtin' Butch put on himself during futuristic uniform day that made him prime material for this show.
Deep to left field. This ball's got some carry. This ball. And Butch Husky just ran right into the wall. Butch Husky did not stop at all going after this ball.
He was tracking the ball. He thought he had a good beat on it.
When he turned around to kind of find out where the wall was, it was like right there.
Ouch.
He face planted into the wall. It was hilarious.
Welcome to the Metrodome, Butch Husky.
Yeah, Butch gave it the old with the college try, and boy, he got splattered.
He went chest and face first right into the wall.
The crowd just kind of went silent.
He hit the wall on the run, square. I mean, as hard as you can hit the wall.
And that thing doesn't move. It's not very generous, that left field wall.
All the teeth are there, we think.
So we were hoping that he was okay, but when he sat up, he smiled a little bit. He was talking to the trainers, and after that, everybody started cracking up.
He's all right, thankfully. Boy, it's a good thing that there's padding out there.
The next day, we were going up to take BP, and they drew a outline of him tattooing the wall.
Everybody, when we went out to batting practice the next day, stopped and had a great chuckle at that.
To be fair to Butch, his face plant blooper was the result of pure hustle.
You know, I give him credit. As a pitcher, I want my guys to go out and go after that ball like you can catch it. Butch thought he could catch him.
You might have thought that Tommy Lasorda's bat ballet was the best blooper ever at an all-star game.
No, head down, Tommy! Oh, no.
But that's not the case. You see, in '93, Randy Johnson decided to have a little fun with fellow lefty John Kruk.
John, being a great career hitter, knows how hard it is to face a guy like Randy Johnson.
Lefty on lefty. You know, I don't know how much he owned Randy Johnson at the time. Probably not much because Randy owned everybody.
John Kruk standing himself off.
It was up 2 or 3 feet over his head.
Watch the reaction of John Kruk. Would you say his heart is palpitating a bit?
Kruk didn't have an idea where he was going to put his helmet on backwards, sideways, or whatever, because he was scared to death.
Randy being Randy, he's going to be competitive, not going to let you get a hit. That was one of the situations where, you know, the first pitch, yeah, get back off the plate. You're not going to get a hit this time.
The Crucker got the message, and Johnson had the plate all to himself.
Look at the next step. I don't blame John one bit for going toward first. And you can see him smiling. Looked like a rope was on his right leg. And he bailed out again at the breaking ball. He wants no part of Randy Johnson. None.
It was really fun to see that situation and his reaction to Randy throwing side-on sliders to him up there.
You knew that was coming. John had no chance.
When I stepped in the box, I said, all I want to do is make contact. And after the first pitch, I said, all I want to do is live. And I lived. So I had a good at-bat.
How is it possible that this would have been gamesmanship in the All-Star game, that perhaps Johnson threw it up there intentionally to elicit this kind of response?
I don't think so.
Wasn't staged or anything. It seriously just kind of slipped out of my hand.
You think the big unit just told a big fib?
He did that on purpose. He did it on purpose. Well, Randy doesn't get mad at me, but we had both played in that All-Star game, and I said to him, did you do that on purpose when you threw that ball over Crook's head? And he kind of looked at me and smiled, and he winked at me like, yeah, you know, of course I did.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but it sure looked like that they may have. But really to see Major League guys being intimidated, I'd have to say that was probably the funnest moment.
We now return to Prime 9, where this week we're featuring the best bloopers that we've ever seen. Bats, balls, pants, and walls. The classic blooper can happen at any time, any place. So now it's time for number 1 and 2, the best bloopers ever uncovered on tape. We begin with number 2. Al Roboski was called the Mad Hungarian for a reason.
I always had a little bit of an uncontrollable temper.
Al was the type that would always go behind the mound, and then he would jump up and come back around.
There he is, the Mad Hungarian at work, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
I was called a lot of names, and I earned most of them.
Al Roboski, one of the most colorful relief pitchers in the game.
The long hair, the Fu Manchu. I wanted a hitter to go up there and say, this guy's crazy. I better be careful against him.
But in May of 1980, it wasn't a hitter that Al took on, but the man in blue behind the plate.
Bob Engel was the home plate umpire, and he threw a ball out to me. And this one just felt like a grapefruit.
So Al asked for another ball. But when it looked like he was going to throw that one back too, Engel began to empty his pockets, and that's when things went downhill.
I rolled my ball into him. He took a ball, rolled it back out to me, and then I stood on the mound and was not going to pick up either ball. Jerry Royster, my second baseman, came over, handed a ball to me, and I looked at it, scratched it on the mound, and I threw it over towards the Dodger dugout. Finally got a ball that I accepted. I throw the ball. It was ball 3, but Reggie goes to first base. So now I got to go to Bob Engel. I don't know if he's upset or mad or what. And I said, Bob, that's only ball 3. And his return to me was, how would I know? You had balls all over the place. So they went into the visiting dugout, and the official score said it was 3-2. Reggie proceeded to come back to home plate, expecting a 200-mile-an-hour fastball. He was ready for it, and I threw a hanging forkball. He about fell down, strike 3, the end of the inning. I got into the clubhouse and heard Vince Scully say, you know, a relief pitcher has to enter a game at a certain criteria in order to be credited with a save, and Roboski didn't qualify, but he saved this game from being boring.
In the hallowed history of bloopers, many have had a laughable, lasting impact. But one stands alone at the head of the class.
Jose Canseco getting hit in the head.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track. Looking out. It is off his head, it looked like. And over the top. A home run.
Jose, come on, man.
Canseco kind of staggered around after the ball, and then the next thing I know, I saw the ball over the fence, and the umpire, was ruling it a home run. I had the advantage to have a replay, and when I saw it, I couldn't help but laugh.
Look at this!
I think if you look at him, he's going back and he's gauging it. He sees the ball.
Canseco goes back to the wall. He looks like he's checking the ball.
He looks at the wall, and next thing you know, it hits him in the head.
Hits him right in the head. He goes over the top.
When it hit off his head and bounced over, my first thought was, wait, I can't say what it was on the air, but it was one of those things, you got to be kidding. Did I see that right?
The thing that I chuckled about is he almost looked at the other outfielder like, that ball didn't really hit me in the head.
I was going to try and give him the benefit of the doubt, and I said, Jose, did that hit you on the head? And he goes, no, it deflected off my glove.
It hit Canseco in the head.
And I fell out right then. I just started laughing.
David Hull's laughing out there.
This Week in Baseball has its lead piece of video.
Watching him crashing back for a play that really could have been made, the ball hitting off his head and going over the wall, it actually ended up being pretty funny.
Funny for the guy who got the home run, but Jose felt otherwise.
Oh, he was definitely embarrassed, but the embarrassment doesn't start till you get back in the dugout and everybody starts talking about you. And everywhere you went, it was played on every scoreboard. So he was never able to get away from it, and we had to talk about it every time he saw it.
Jose, you've hit a lot of home runs, you did a lot of great things, but that shot will live forever.
To misjudge a ball that bad, number one, and then for it to have it hit on your head and give a guy a homer? Oh, there'll never be another one as good. That was a beautiful thing.
Although Jose stands head and shoulders above the rest, there is one other blooper at the wall that's worth seeing, for it is indeed one of the very best. Rodney McRae didn't make our list because his smash-mouth effort took place in a minor league game. Still, we had to wonder, what was the last thing that went through Rodney's head besides the wall?
I was just really playing hard and going after a fly ball, and actually the fence got there a little sooner than what I thought.
The fact that Rodney would run through a wall to play in the big leagues helped get him parts of 3 seasons in the show.
Here's McRae racing for the plate with a tying run, and the White Sox have tied the game.
But though his time in the majors was short, he will forever be enshrined in our